Hello everybody, welcome back. Today on the menu we have turkey stew. Now let me tell you, I was never a big fan of turkey until I learned how to make it myself. If your cooking technique is not the strongest when it comes to this meat, I promise you are not going to enjoy it. But if you follow this recipe, you never know, turkey might just become your favorite meat. Let's get started. In a bowl, I have some fresh turkey that I picked up from the Asian store. My Asian store happens to sell African food. You can pretty much get everything you need out there. I'm gonna go ahead and give my meat a really good wash. I usually trim off some of the fatty parts and then I wash it out and make sure I wash it the last time with some salt because I want to make sure I get rid of anything that's lingering on there before I start my cooking process. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and transfer my turkey into my saucepan and get started with the cooking. Now we get to the most critical part, and that is seasoning the meat. I'm gonna go ahead and add some seasoned salt to it. Be very generous again. You want this part to be the most salty part of your cooking process, and so be generous with the seasoning because you want it to penetrate the meat. So in addition to the seasoned salt, I ended up adding some Creole seasoning, and now I'm adding some ginger and onion blend. Don't skip this part. This part is critical. I love ginger, and I add ginger pretty much to everything that I cook. I make ginger drinks. I add it to my meat because it really elevates the taste of the meat. So please don't skip this part. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a really good toss because I want to coat every part of my meat before I turn the fire on. Now let the cooking begin. I am back to check on my meat after about 10 minutes. I am cooking this on medium heat because I just want to make sure I slowly cook my turkey. This way your season is going to take its time to penetrate the meat, and then when you bite into it, oh my goodness. Listen, let's just keep going. At this point, I've been cooking the meat for about 25 minutes. I'm going to allow it to cook for another 20 minutes on medium heat. It's been another 20 minutes, and look at that. Look at that. You will notice I didn't add too much water to the meat because I want it to also cook in its own juices. It's going to, as it cooks, it's going to release its juices, and then you're going to just have the meat cook in its own juices. We are getting to the end of our cooking process, and how do I know? Our stock is reducing. You don't want it to completely reduce because we will need the stock in the cooking process. So at this point, it's been about 45 minutes and we should be ready to fry our meat. I have the oil going. It's about half a cup of oil going on the stove, and I'm going to transfer my turkey into the oil and brown it up. While my turkey is frying, I'm gonna get a head start on my onions. So I'm just going to chop up half a white onion I don't know. I prefer white onions. If you notice, I cook a lot with white onions as opposed to red onions. It's just a preference, but feel free to use whichever onions works best for you. I am back to checking in on my turkey. The brownness really, again, is preference. I like it to brown. I don't like it to harden too much, but I want it to brown. So I'm just gonna allow it to do that right here. Let me quickly show you guys the stock. Oh my God, can you just imagine how tasty the stock is? And this is what we're going to use when we start our tomato sauce for the turkey stew. So definitely hold on to that stock. You don't want to waste it. Once I transfer all my turkey back into the stock, I am going to skim off some of the oil, and then we can get started on the basis of our sauce. So I'm just gonna skim off a little more, and you will notice you have the dark parts of my oil. Don't be worried about that. That is all from the turkey, and you can only imagine how much flavor that is going to add to your sauce. So I did not wash my pan and start afresh with new oil. I'm just going to use the oil from frying the turkey. Right now I'm adding in my onions, and I'm going to get this going. I am going to fry my onions until it is translucent, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in my tomato sauce. This is canned tomatoes. You can blend and use fresh tomatoes as well, but I'm using canned tomatoes. I also added in 2 bay leaves. I just love the smell and the aroma of bay leaves in my sauce. I'm gonna cook down my tomatoes for about 30 minutes until, all the liquid is out of it. Trust me when I say this makes for a much tastier sauce. So I like to fry down my sauces longer than others will. You will notice at this point I have not added any additional spices or salt to my tomato sauce, and that is because we still have that stock that we will be using. That stock already had all the spices you need, so I think that will be more than enough. Once I add that in, I will taste it to see where we add. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer my turkey into my tomato sauce now that I have it to the point where I think it is fried enough. And finally, I'm going to add the star of this sauce. Oh my God, look at that stock. Yes, it is thick, it is flavorful. I wish you guys could try it. But I know you'll be trying this recipe soon, so you will be validating everything I'm saying. Now that I've added my turkey, I'm gonna allow this to cook down for about another 15 minutes, altogether about 45 minutes on our sauce. And look at that. Look at that. Oh, you thought we were done, didn't you? No. There can be turkey sauce without some veggies. So in here, I've added some yellow and red peppers, and I'm just gonna let this cook for about 2-3 minutes because I don't want to overcook my veggies. and we are all good to go. I really hope you enjoyed this cooking session. Be sure to try this recipe. I have a lot of people tell me turkey is not a favorite meat. Yes, I used to be one of those individuals, but ever since I tried this recipe, I have not gone back. And it's actually one of my husband's favorite. And so thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I am so grateful for you guys. You have no idea. Thank you for being part of this village. Be sure to share and subscribe. And hey, be kind. Be kind to one another because it makes a whole lot of difference. Be safe out there.